Hey guys, Katie Saywell here from the Decode. My name's Katie Saywell. I'm the owner and founder of the Decode. So the Decode is a training and coaching company, and we specialise in the behaviour and training of dachshunds. So sausage dogs, wiener dogs, dachsies, however you pronounce them, dachshunds. They're the ones with the long bodies and the short legs. They're the ones. We do all our training with them. So what do? We work with owners and build owners and dogs' confidence. We create best friends through positive training. So how do we do this, and what techniques do we use? So we use positive, force-free, reward-based training, which is backed by science. We don't use any shock collars, we don't use any sprays, and we don't use any physical reprimands or any fear-based techniques. Our philosophy is be kind and build the bond. I will be covering the 3 top subjects that you guys have chosen through your comments on the post that I put out a few days ago. So those 3 top subjects are barking, toilet training or potty training, and separation anxiety. So I hope you guys can all hear me, and hello to you all. I know it's a bit of a tough time for everybody at the moment, but I thought this would be some value for you to help you with your dachshunds. Whether you're a new owner, an experienced owner, these guys are a breed of their own, should we say. I'd like to thank you all very much for your comments, and you guys are exactly why I'm here. Okay, you're clearly having some issues, you clearly want them resolving, and you just don't know how. So our clients that we deal with, their main problems are they're stressed, they're embarrassed, or they lack confidence, and we just help them to build their confidence with their dogs. So while I'm here, I just wanted to share a couple of stories from our Facebook community, and we've had a couple of really impressive stories that I'd really like to share with you. So the first one was from a lady who her dog Reggie was really struggling with separation anxiety, and every time she left the house, he was trashing the house, he was getting the bin out or the trash can, he was pouring it all over, and he was generally really upset. He was barking the entire time she was out, and just really an unhappy little soul. So she got in touch with me, we had a few conversations, and we put a bit of a plan in place for her. She came back to me a month later, 1 month, so 28 days later, she came back to me and said, I can't believe it. I cannot believe what's happened. Reggie, I can now leave him for 4 hours on his own. 4 hours in 4 weeks. Superstar. You know, not all separation anxiety is cured or to that degree, but hers was, and she's happy. Reggie can now be left on his own, he's not eating out the bin, he's safe, he's secure, and he's happy, which is the main thing. And because he's happy, she's happy. And the second story I'd like to share is another lady who's commented actually today, and she said, thank you so much for your techniques, Kate. I've had the blinds on my windows shut for the last 2 years. Yes, you heard that correct. She's had the blinds shut for 2 whole years. Today, she's had those blinds open. She's had the sunlight coming in, and she's had her dachshund asleep in front of the window. How amazing is that? And so she's thanked me for helping her, which is just amazing. But it's actually credit to you guys that put the hard work in. I'll just give you the techniques and you go with them. Okay? So tonight, keep watching till the end. I want to give you as much value as I can. And at the end, there will be a question and answer. So if I can ask you not to put your comments and questions in as we're going, if you want to put the comments in, that's fine. But we will have a space at the end for questions and answers. The first thing that we're going to cover tonight is barking. So if you have a dachshund that barks, that annoys you, that you would like to change, give us a thumbs up. So let's just talk about why dachshunds do bark in the first place. So they were bred to bark. They were bred to hunt, and they are part of the hound group. So they have a varied bark frequency. So you will know as Dachshund owners that they have this. So there's a deep dark bark, right up to the screeching and screaming, and they're super excited. They've seen something, they want to get to something, or they just want to actually get and hunt that thing. Thanks, guys. So barking is the main form of communication, and we can never get rid of it, okay? But what we can do is minimise it massively, so you're able to actually live a happy life. So why do they bark? So they were bred to bark. They bark to protect territory. They bark because it is rewarded. They bark because it is self-rewarding. And they bark because they enjoy it. So let's look at whether or not you are rewarding your Dachshund's barking behaviour. So when your Dachshund's barking, what do you do? Do you give them eye contact? Do you touch them? Really exciting to them. So self-rewarding barking is, for example, when they're looking out the window and they see a person come into view. So the person comes into view here, they start barking to alert you, they start barking to protect their territory, and they'll bark, 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 bark. Their aim is for that person to come out of view. When they get to the other side of the window, that person is out of view. Because they're out of view, your Daxie goes, Brill, I've done what I set out to do. Self-rewarded behaviour. Self-rewarding behaviour. So sometimes it's just the fact that our dogs have taken too many jobs on. Too many jobs inside the house that they don't actually need to do. So how can you prevent your dog from carrying out behaviours that you don't want? So in this case, barking. So if they're jumping up on the back of a sofa to look out of a window, could you think about teaching them to go somewhere else? Teaching them to go to a mat, teaching them to go to a bed. Because the more that dogs do a behaviour and get rewarded, the more they will want to do it as well. So my philosophy is this: block the view or teach something new. Block the view or teach something new. So distract them away from it with toys, with treats, and get them to do something else and reward that behaviour, not the unwanted behaviour. So the next thing that I would like to go through tonight is toilet training, or potty training. And the main things that we should be looking at are signs that our Dachshunds need to go to the toilet. So what are those signs? So signs can be sniffing the ground, circling, moving around in a circle with the sniffing and circling at the same time, can be both together, going to corners of the room, or revisiting a previous place that they've been to, a previous place that they've urinated or pooed. They may also go to a door. And what we should never do is tell them off, and I'll come back to that in a minute. So what we need to do is, if they mess inside, if they do their business inside, we need to clean it thoroughly. We use a product called Simple Solutions, and we find it works great for us. I'm unsure if you guys actually are able to get that product or not. And it basically breaks down the ammonia within the urine to get rid of the smell for your dogs. Or alternatively, you could use a product called a biological washing powder, and you can just mix this with a bit of water and you can clean the area with that. Just do a test patch first with whatever you do use, just so you don't end up with a strange coloured carpet. And if they, for example, wheel up a table leg, then clean underneath the table leg as well, not just where it is, and around. So if they mess this much, if they have a tiny wee like this, cover a dinner plate, clean a dinner plate size, because what tends to happen is, especially younger dogs and older dogs, the ones in the middle tend to not do this as much, but they can still do it, is they will pee on something and then they'll walk in it. So they will then trample it across. So it's not just this bit, it's actually the walked in part as well. And what we can also do is we can set an alarm, we can take them outside at regular intervals. So you're looking at every 20 minutes, get them outside, get them trying to go to the toilet where you want them to go. So have a particular area that you want them to go. And write down as well what food they're eating, what drinks they're having. So what goes in must come out. And we can create a really good pattern around the time that they are eating or drinking to when it actually comes out. So it gives you an idea as well. So it's not all guesswork. It can actually just be a pattern that you've created, and you say, well, I feed my dog at this time, and 15 to 20 minutes later they then need to go to the toilet. You take them outside, you wait outside with them. When they do something, have what we call a poo or a pee party. Okay, so go crazy, have your treats to hand, give them loads and loads and loads of praise while you're out there, and let them know that they've done exactly the right thing that you want them to do. Okay, so the reason we shouldn't tell our dogs off, so the reason we shouldn't discipline our dogs for messing in the house, for doing their business in the house, is because they learn one of two things. So you're either safe or you're unsafe. So if you're safe, it means they can go to the toilet in front of you. And if you're unsafe, it means that they can't. So if you tell them off for going to the toilet in front of you, then you may become unsafe to them. When you become unsafe, that is when they will start going under the table, behind the sofa, in a different room, in your bed, anywhere away from you when they need to go. So have a think about that. They're pretty smart.